Hello, I'm Michael Glass from michaelglass.com, where we focus on making informed decisions about our financial future. This is our forex-technical-analysis trading plan for the pound dollar, the euro dollar, and the dollar franc. Before we pull up our video, we always want to start off our disclosures. Any symbols you see today should not be inferred as a trading recommendation. No matter what form of investing you choose, stock, forex, futures, options, they all have a level of risk associated with them. You can lose all of your money. Any strategies we show today are for informational purposes only. Future results are not guaranteed. And finally, any investment decision you make is solely your own responsibility. Trade at your own risk. As we said, this is our forex-technical-analysis trading plan for the pound dollar, the euro dollar, and the dollar franc. In each video, we look at the prior session's price action to come up with key support and resistance price levels. We'll review the gold chart to come up with leading sentiment. We'll try to create a low volatility and inside bar watch list, and we have an education spotlight at the end. Please send your feedback and comments to contact@dmbfx.com, and let's head to the charts. As we look at the week that was in Forex, we see a couple things. First and foremost, the EU summit on Friday had a very positive reaction to the market. They finally announced that there's been a breakthrough in the Spain bailout. So what this basically showed that the leaders in Europe can actually reach an agreement on big changes. You know, there was definitely that division of those in debt and those who were fiscally sound during the crisis. But it's important to know that the crisis is not over yet. The crisis is not over yet. This week we have some of the central banks coming out to talk. We've got the Bank of England and a European Central Bank to make their announcement this week. The ECB is expected to announce a rate cut, and the Bank of England is expected to announce more quantitative easing. And then we have some jobs data, some manufacturing data coming out here this week. The jobs data for the U.S. and manufacturing data for China, which talks about, again, the strength of the economy and how positive can we look forward after this summit that happened here in Europe on Friday. Of course, the data is not taking in Friday's action. But again, what is the strength of the job market in the States and the economy, which is so dependent? China's economy is so dependent on exports. They send their stuff to other countries and people have to buy it. So it really gives a good insight onto the strength of the global economy. Okay, so as we look at our market simulators, the first thing we're going to look at is the dollar. And one thing that's interesting is that you can argue a couple things. You can argue that we have well, let me zoom in. You could argue a head and shoulders pattern in here. You can argue that we have an M pattern starting to form in here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Or if you can include this all in one big move, you could say that's what I'm saying. You have a double top, triple top, whatever you want to say. But you can really see the impact on Friday's price action. Now we found a little support in the 50 moving average. We'll see if we find support at 81.225 here like we did before. We're also 81.5. Will we find support here? That is kind of where we wick. But you can really see the impact of Friday's action. So sideways, but being very cautious about these triple tops, double tops, inverted head and shoulders patterns, M pattern. Got to be very concerned about that if you're playing the dollar. And of course, we have the inverse relationship. We'll really see the inverse relationship right now with gold and the dollar. And we just saw the weakness of the dollar. Zoom on in here, and you can see this nice big candle here that gets us back almost up to 1600 here on gold. So gold, which has been choppy, but what's interesting, and I'm just seeing this now, so I'm just kind of winging it, but if we look at what's going on in here, maybe not be as impactful as I thought it was. We certainly have a little more impactful if I do it that way. We have some potential resistance coming in here also at 1620. And you can see that in this price action here. But look at that move here on Friday. And the last thing is crude oil. Now, we talked about the big move of crude oil. And you'll really see that. Look at that over here. I mean, look at that big move. We went right through pretty much the whole market profile there. And of course, what we're hoping for is that we'll see some resistance here at 90. We've got 50 moving average coming down here that may act as resistance, but we're in this 80 to 90 channel now. As we were coming down, there was some resistance here at 85. You can see some wicks in here, so that'll be interesting to see if we get that. But you can see we got through a lot of this volume accumulation, and we could see this continue to move out. And again, the big thing about that was the European Union's sanctions that are going to begin on Iran's oil on July 1st. So this down action, I'll say sideways for right now. Not ready to go bullish yet. Let's go ahead and zoom on in here, looking at the euro dollar. As we said, the euro had a good reaction to what happened on Friday, and you can see we're coming into the 50 moving average. We got 1.264 right here, so we're probably going to get into this new range. Remember, what was once support now becomes resistance, so we see if we can close above it. You can see today's price action. I am putting my video a little late, so we're already seeing some of what's going on here on Monday. So we need to get above this W that's forwarding, our double bottom. So we have a W forming here, and if we can get above that, then we can really start to see this take hold. Now, don't forget, we have there, as we said, the European Central Bank is going to be reporting this week. And you can see coming over here to the 1 hour time frame. Computer's lagging a little bit here. Hold on a second. We can see Friday's price action, how it really jumped up there. And, so it certainly looks good, but how long, the question simply is, how long of effect will we get from Friday's meeting before other things kick back in? Potentially. Remember, long term, if we come back over here and we go back draw out from the daily and come over to the monthly on the Euro daily chart, long term we are in a downtrend. So we can't forget these longer term trends and not allow ourselves to be prisoners of the moment. You can see again, longer term we are in a downtrend, so we have to keep that in mind. Let's switch on over to the pound dollar. With the pound dollar, we can see on the daily chart, we're in a range. We're all long term in a downtrend, but we're really in a sideways price action for the past several months. And we can see as I zoom in a little bit here for you, you can see that it didn't have as big a reaction to the European summit as, of course, the euro did. So overall, what we want to see with the pound dollar is for it to get a little bit higher to start testing. We want to get up there around 1.6 before we can really start saying the trend has really changed. Switching over to the dollar franc. Here we're starting to see a double top put in here, potentially an end pattern. 0.948 may not be holding up as support. Sorry, I'm starting to go a little bit quicker through these. You can see my computer's really lagging, so I'm really just giving you a general overview versus the normal detailed. So we really want to watch the 50 moving average here to see if this M pattern kicks in and we start to get back into this 0.91 to 0.95 range. It does not look that this like the 0.9547 is holding up. We're going to add one more. We're going to add the dollar yen to our coverage. The dollar yen was going sideways for a while. We had this big boom up. Now we're coming back, founding support in the 200 moving average. Almost a nice little wedge that we can draw here. Draw a trend line here going up. as support, draw a line coming down as resistance. Nice little wedge sitting in between the 200 and the 500 moving average. Needs to break out of that, but note that the yen in the past has consolidated for a while, channel for a while. So that's what we're looking for before we find and really identify the next trend. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our watch list. First, we have our low volatility watch list, which is our 1 hour time frame using Bollinger Bands. Then we have our inside bar watch list, is looking at the range of Friday, comparing it to the day before, Thursday. And for both of these, we have none. Why? Again, we had such a positive reaction to the European Summit on Friday that the market really took off, and we'll see that as we looked at the charts that we just discussed. Our education spotlight really talks about the focus here about needing a trading plan, but not only do you need to have a trading plan, but you need to have that trading plan written down. They did a study of the students who graduated from the Harvard Business School, and what they found out is those students who had goals were worth 5 times as much as those students who did not have goals. But in addition, the students who had written down those goals were worth 10 times as much. So writing down your goals, having a purpose, having action steps to accomplish your goals greatly increases the likelihood of you being a successful trader. As always, please comment, like, and subscribe. And again, we have some really big things coming out here in July. I'm really excited. I've been asked for so long about putting together my own personal signal service. We are going to be starting one here on July 5th. So I don't have it here on your screen for you, but I will definitely let you guys know about a newsletter that we're going to have that's going to have videos, it's going to have starts, stops, targets, everything that you need to be a successful trader. We're going to have our own personalized signal service. In the end, no matter what you do, it's important that you have your own discernment about whether it's good for you and how you personally can enact it in your trading plan so that you can have the psychological capital to pull the trigger on each and every trade. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.